Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Alienware Arena Week 2 EU. We're here in the winter term, and boy, do we have a match for you guys today. Team on your left, not your average nobodies, making a triumphant return to the FourCourtJester stream, as well as the Alienware Arena. And on the right-hand side, Team Red, gonna be Team Artificial. Apparently a bunch of AI studiers in computer science. But I'm the FourCourtJester. With me here, Bird from the D Esports. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay. I mean, it's a good day today over in the east coast of America. Really, really warm. So I'm liking the whole global climate kind of warming change. But it's winter, and I think it's supposed to be like chilly and cold and snowy. But that's all right. We're about to go get in this game. But how are you doing, FourCourt?
Well, it's a good day to do League of Legends because we have the Season 3 patch in. I'm actually very excited, Mr. Bird, because this is going to be my first official shoutcast of Season 3.
The items, changes, that everything is so different. Like, I was watching, I think, was it the, not NYAN, it was MLG Prize Fight yesterday, and we saw a Kale at bottom playing 80 carry with, like, CDR reduction kind of roll, kind of damage. And it's like, wow, like you can do anything to this patch right now. I mean, it's all just free roam, free wild range, and we're just in the Wild Wild West right now trying to figure out what is going to be like the perfect way to actually play out in Season 3. While we do have the bans and picks going off for both your average nobodies and Team Artificial, this is actually the first chance for, I think, EU West people to actually play on Season 3 because they just got the patch, I think, like yesterday.
Yeah, they usually get it a little bit later, and I do believe it's either the night before or yesterday that they did actually get that. So I've had actually a few people from previous matches message me. It's like, dude, our jungle is so bad now, or just, you know, dude, we can't seem to win any games. But disclaimer, no Viet there on Not Your Average Nobodies. He's not promising a stellar game because it is kind of new to everyone, but they are going to try their best. So, band champions Rengar, Blitzcrank, and Twitch. Band champions Diana, Shen, and Katarina. These teams need to learn how to spell. Seriously.
Not a problem. I'm just going to say that most people that have been playing in Season 3, like from what I've been seeing in solo queue and stuff like that, Lee Sin, Hecarim, Amumu, anything that's tanky, anything that can go through the jungle, like Season 1 jungle pretty much per se, is like the picks you would really see pretty much prominently in games right now because they're probably the safest picks right now. Lee Sin can do some really good counter game. On top of that, has really good sustain. Mumu, which we are maybe getting locked in by Super Ownage over there, has some really good sustain. Has the greatest of them all, Curse of the Sad Mummy, and just has so much tankiness as well. So really good to see, you know, junglers that are pretty safe per se into this Season 3.
Pretty safe, yeah. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, Rengar could jungle, but he's usually in that top lane. Other than that, it's just really Shen. I mean, not really a lot of targeted jungle bans, and sometimes we do see that in these kind of matchups, but I'm very curious as to why there's a Twitch ban on the table. I'm waiting to see who the AD player here is for Team Artificial, see if he has a hidden Twitch card up his sleeve. It doesn't seem a very EU kind of style to be playing an AD Twitch, but as you said, it's the Wild West. Anything really goes right now.
I think overall, in general, most people have seen the biggest difference with Season 3 is that they lowered the cost on attack speed, they lowered cost on attack damage. I think a lot of professional players have been saying that 80 carries, or not 80 carries, but just 80 damage was going to be so much more in that early game phase. So that mid game, like I've been trying to say, that mid game is actually really important, and the early game is really important as well. And then Twitch, Misfortune, Tristana, all those kind of early game 80 carries. Present a bigger role into trying to run it in and win the game. So truly, Twitch, I mean, yeah, it's not an EU West kind of field because it's very aggressive. It is one of those champions that kind of needs to be banned a bit. Yes, yeah. A bit.
I think I was watching, what was it, Scara's stream as they were just trying to figure out like all the new various masteries and all the new just things that you can do these days, and you can actually start off level 1 with the new increased starting gold because of your various talents and the new, you know, granted items through masteries. You can actually start with a full inventory.
Yeah, you can start out 6 items, and yeah, that's
pretty
a little crazy, and then, you know, the Explorer Ward and the Rejuvenation Biscuit, I think those are the 2 things that are new from the masteries. can win you level 1 fights because I just heard from another cast I was just looking at. You can pair up Rejuvenation Biscuit with a health pot, and they will like double your regen, and they work together simultaneously.
Oh, so they stack. Well, I guess that's not going to be too much of an issue because you only really get that limited amount of uses. And I got to say, Total Biscuit getting immortalized into this game, just like Athene's Unholy Grail. We now have a dedicated mastery slot to honor the big guy. So, you know, Riot, they're really sticking to their guns, and they're probably really happy that they don't ever have to implement any new items based upon anyone anymore.
I mean, if they do, it'll be probably for Season 5 or something like that. Because I expect, like, this Season 3, I feel like is a big expansion. Even though, like, when you look at the table, it's not that big of a item change. It's only about, what, 16 items that are new? But still, that's a lot to a game that's just massively changing every 2 weeks because of every new champion coming out.
I remember in Dota, it was, God, it felt like a few months ago, but they introduced a new content patch that basically just put everything on its head. It's a very similar feeling here right now. Everything is just kind of turned on its head. And it's funny you mentioned KO the other day because somebody linked me on Twitter a new Hurricane guide for KO as an AD carry. You get the cooldown, you get yourself a Nashor's Tooth, a Malady, and then the Hurricane. And it's just every time she puts up Righteous Fury, it's just madness because everything that she hits, including with the Hurricane, has the fire AoE on it. So it's like now you're hitting 3 people for AoE, and if they're all clumped up together, they're all taking damage from each other's AoEs at the same time. It's just madness.
That's a lot of massive damage right there, and that's why CLG was doing that. Or not CLG, it was Dignitas that was doing that. Wow, that's really interesting to see, and we do have the band picks pretty much solidified. Sorry about that, you know, Season 3, such a new thing. It's really good for casters as well. Even though it's a new item, it's really good for us to get hyped and get ready for, you know, some really good casting experiences coming up.
So it looks like maybe Pudding is going to be their AD carry. He plays Graves and Ezreal, a little bit of Maokai as well. I don't see a Twitch hidden in there. But, you know, he did get his favorite champion, or at least his most played champion here, Season 3. And he's going to be paired up with Leona. And Leona, again, you know, second place on her most played champion. So we're going for a bit more of an aggressive bot lane. But did you notice that it was a Soraka first pick?
Yeah, that was a really interesting pick, I would say. Maybe there's something about that Season 3 change that makes Soraka a little bit more viable. I mean, we'll see, but again, that's just a little bit more favorable to the burst damage that Leona and Grace can do right to the Corki, who, well, the Summoned Blockers are going to be off soon, has not the most aggressive of skills. We're going to play really defensive, with also Soraka being very defensive as well.
I'm not going to lie, I was hoping for an AP mid Soraka.
I mean, it could be a support bird. You never know.
Support bird, yeah. No, probably not. So, Noviet going to do his best Froggen impression there in the mid. Argo in the bot with the Wino. Super Onage, Mamumu, very safe jungle. And that's going to leave us with an Olaf top. So, Olaf versus Jax. How does that matchup kind of work? I want to say the true damage will win out, but we have some tremendous burst from Jax.
Jax, with the new item of the Hextech Gunblade, is going to do a lot of damage, but on top of that, Ginsu's Rage Blade. That's the newest, like, buy all-in thing. It got changed so hard that it just benefits Jax even more. It kind of benefits Olaf a little bit as well, but I think Jax is going to utilize it a little bit more. When you go under 50% health, you gain life steal and spell vamp while you're in combat still. It's like, wow, you want to give Jax more damage and more times to get Grandmaster's Might on? That's pretty much it. So really, they're going to have to take down that top lane pretty fast against that Jax for that Olaf to actually succeed. If Jax has a free time to farm, again, Jax is very good late game hyper carry. He's going to be pretty strong coming into this as well.
Imagine that paired up with a Maw Mount Mortius.
Oh God.
Good times. Good times. All right, so that's going to be the top. Who do we got here? For mid, I'm looking at the mid here for Team Artificial, Team Purple. I'm assuming it's Cho'Gath at this point.
Yeah, I'd probably get Cho'Gath mid against Nivea. Not probably the best of matchups for Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath mid is usually you want to go against like a bruiser that does try to get some assassination so that he can just regenerate it up, get that heal back. Sorry, that took a little bit. But with Nivea, you have that kind of control. And one thing Cho'Gath is, he can heal up and can go against birds, but he can't really go against control. And that's going to be a really hard matchup for our Rethix to place against that Nivea.
Now I'm just looking at our Rethix here. I actually found the Twitch ban. He's the AP mid is actually the most played on Twitch. Is there an AP Twitch build I'm not aware of? I have to wonder. But Runes looks like it is going to be ability power, has a little bit of magic pen, and then the armor resists. But he's going a 21-9 build, and he does have Spell Sword, which means that 5% of that ability power is going to be added to his basic attacks, which on top of that is going to have Vorpal Strikes on top.
Yeah, the Vorpal Spikes on top of that is going to give a little bit of damage each and every time. So if we can get into Anivia's range, that'd be great, but Anivia's going to play pretty passively, I would say, till about level 4, level 5, and then just find an opening to try to get Cho'Gath. If they can get Cho'Gath before level 6, Anivia will just steamroll this line. But if Cho'Gath farms up and stays up pretty well, he'll be okay to do his thing as a Cho'Gath would.
To do his thing as a Cho'Gath would. Yeah, Sustain versus that Not. We're going to have to see how these matchups do go head-to-head here, guys, as we are going to join into the battle. Alienware Arena Week 2 EU Winter Season. FourCourtJester and a Bird. I think you're 100% right now on attendance for the winter season.
I think so. I did
it's only
last
week
week,
2, and
yeah,
you did it last week.
So hopefully I'll get like maybe some gold stars or some extra bonuses from that. No?
Well,
Teacher Jester? Joking.
I will give you a gold star, sir.
Yes.
Once we figure out how to put that onto your Twitter.
That sounds like a subscription button. Okay. I'll put you on that, joking.
So I'm a little worried right off the bat. Pure silver versus a mix of diamond, platinum, and gold.
Ooh. That looks a little dangerous. Although, again, Season 3 is all new to pretty much all these players. You know, there could be a little bit of differences, but mechanical skill, you can't really teach that. It's always brought because of foundation, playing games and such. Well, we'll see how it goes for the team of Not Your Average Nobodies, which is the blue team, correct?
Yeah, Not Your Average Nobodies. You're going to be on blue, Team Artificial there on your purple, or red, as it will be in-game. And there we go. And there we go. Thank you, hotkeys, for working. So yeah, it is going to be Not Your Average Nobodies. They have been on the Alienware stream before, back in fall season. We did, I think, 1 or 2 of their games. And Argo Bargo, if I recall, was he really impressed me with his AD. We're going to have to see what kind of Season 3 stuff we're going to be seeing. But, I mean, already off the bat, you see the new machetes on both of our junglers with the potions. And look at the supports. 4 or 5 items already.
Boots and 2 wards for Legiona, so that's really strong. He didn't play really aggressive. Then that's what Artificial should be doing. Really interested to see the 2 boots or 2 wards plus on the Fairy Charm and the Regrowth Pendant. Really interesting. Soraka wants to get that Philosopher's Stone really early. Although Philosopher's Stone now 700 gold, it's pretty easy to get now instead of how it used to be with 6 and 20.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Now, we do have those Explorer wards and 2 wards each. The total biscuit of rejuvenation on both of our supports. God, I love saying total biscuit. But yeah, as you said, the 80 health and 50 mana does go well with the health pots, but neither of our supports actually ran any health pots.
It's really interesting to see this team right here. You're gonna have to use a ward to see where they're at for the race for Artificial, and Artificial now just gonna be backing away. Usually you use the Explorer ward, so most of the time you use it for actually just probably the level 1 gank or level 3 gank that happens over that bottom lane. So I guess that's the kind of way Artificial wants to go with it. Leona and everybody gonna be taking the race.
Well, the Explorer ward, only does do those 60 seconds, so it is kind of a limited use. I do kind of feel it's just that throwaway early ward just for that level 1, as you said. But yeah, they're going to be counter jungling out this Wraith. It is totally down, looking out for that red. So this is, if you had to take any buff away from Amumu, I would have preferred to take away the blue, because without that blue, his clear times are just going to be just that much more terrible. But at the same time, without that red, I mean, the ganking power is not going to be there. This could be a level 1 fight bottom lane, though.
Yeah, Windows gonna get cut down, gonna get buckshotted, and gonna be backing away. Flash out, but Vietnamese Kid is gonna go around, gonna try to get a Sonic Wave and another flash. That's a lane a Vietnamese Kid wants to go revisit because both flashes are down at bot.
Man, forcing out both flashes. I mean, sure, they avoided the kills, but oh, that is such a window of opportunity this early game, especially now that they know that Lee Sin has the red. So they know they've been counter-jungled, and Amumu, I mean, his smite is down, so he's not heading top.
No, he's gonna go just clear out his jungle. I mean, it's hard to counter jungle with a Mumu technically now, just because of how much damage both Big Blue and Red buff do. So they're gonna have to just kind of play it safe for now. I mean, we're just gonna get level 4 probably after. I would say the second refresh on that walls on camp to get there, but he's gonna be really behind. While Lee Sin, even though did just gank over there, he's not gonna have enough time to go back down.
Oh man, Wino just getting hit by that Zenith Blade. Again, no flashes, and you know, it's really hard to say no to a Leona. If she has that pinpoint accuracy, does not matter how many people are in front of her, she will hit you in the back. So first blood going to Team Artificial as Reikyo top lane does get flashed upon with that Ignite. He will go down. Young Woo just jumping in there just to make sure that he was able to solidify that kill. But it was an almost even trade. I mean, he did drop fairly low. And again, there's no Amumu top lane presence. So he is going to be able to get out of this one scot-free.
Meanwhile, over at mid, Art rethinks level 3 compared to level 4 of Nivea. Nivea has been doing a good bout of poke, but Cho'Gath still has 3 pots, so it'll be fun to resustain. Plus, on top of that, he does have his Carnivore passive, so he'll be fine over there as well.
It still seems that a gold pretend kind of mindset is in effect, you know, for our different supports. So like our support player, Wino, is going to go for that Philo Stone, but now we just pick up the makings of it as well for Olaf, believe it or not.
Well, Olaf usually, well, he did just get killed right there. Does build up that Philo Stone and builds it into a Shirley's Reverie, sorry about that. Because he just gets that extra CDR, but on top of that, he can spam his axes a little bit more, plus he has mana regen, stuff like that. But yeah, that's a usual thing you would see with Olaf, but especially now he's behind, he needs that extra gold for 10 because he's now going to get outclassed by Jax, who comes back into the lane with 2 Doran's Blades.
Ouch. 2 Doran's Blades. I mean, Jax, as I said, there was no pressure going up top. Amumu instead is now going to come visit bottom, and he does have his blue. I mean, so his jungle clear time is not that bad. He's not really losing out too much in terms of the creeps, but Lee Sin has had at least 3 of the 4 objectives to his name, so he's coming out a little bit ahead here in the gold. But Amumu, you know, if he had just gone top at all, I think it would have been a kill.
Yeah, I mean, the thing was, you know, denying that red, it made him just go back so far. He probably would have been level 2 when he went up first, and we're probably going to be seeing some action yet again at top.
Yeah, I'm looking at that Lee Sin. I'm also just making sure that this bot lane, looking for those Zenith Blades, but, you know, Vietnamese kid, he's just sitting there using a safeguard on over. There's the counter stun, and we still have the Sonic Waves in. Yeah, Sonic Wave into the kick. I think they're trying to give it to the Jax, but did not work this round. And now, once you get behind, you just stay behind. Slippery slope, right?
Yeah, Super Owen is still at level 3 right now. He needs some XP gain, so he probably should be just camping bot by just sitting in the brush so that our Pudding and Sandy Twins can just back off a little bit to give Karki some more free room, plus to get some XP, but right now he's just going back right to his jungle, and he's just going to fall super and super far behind. I mean, level 5 versus level 3, it's not looking too well for not your average nobodies.
Yeah, the problem is as well, I mean, because Olaf has been out of lane so long, he's lost not only so much experience, but also the last hits. And we're coming up upon, you know, a nice sweet point here for Jax, where he's going to be doubling Olaf in terms of just the last hits in the top.
Yeah, it's just not going to be too swell for Olaf right now. And on top of that, Mimu still really behind. It's not looking too good. Only thing that's happening for them is Nivea's kind of tying up with Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath's of 45 CS compared to 31. Buying a Blasting Wand. He's going to go for trying to go for this kill onto Nivea pretty soon.
Yeah, Blasting Wand is a pretty significant investment early on, but at the same time we have a Vamp Scepter, first item. When Graves headed back to lane. So, I mean, it's not a cheap item anymore. 800 gold. It does grant you some attack damage and the lifesteal, but it will also allow him to build into that Bloodthirster.
Yeah, the thing about Vamp Scepter is just because, you know, people wanted to get more stats, and so, you know, lifesteal was just a stat that was really overused, per se. While we were going to see this gank over top, I'll finish my statement on that.
Well, I mean, they're taking their time to do this gang. I don't think Rakedai is actually going to get out of this one alive. And there's the leap strike. In comes the Vietnamese kid as well, just laying the smackdown on top of Mumu. Great flash into the dragon kick, but it will be a double kill. Are they both going to get out of this one alive? The tower does not finish off Yongwu. 14 hit points, popping those health potions at the crucial moment. So, I mean, it was a good turnaround on top of Lee Sin. They got themselves a kill. No assist, though, for Rakdai again.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for for the team of Not Your Average Nobodies. And yeah, again, Olaf not getting anything from that, really. And it's not looking too well for that. Yeah, so, sorry about that. Season 3. Lifesteal, they changed that so that, you know, lifesteal would be a little bit more. Adding that vamp for 350 gold, pretty much for a longsword. It's pretty good, so I understand what they're going with. You know, lifesteal, it's a really good stat. They want to make it cost more. So Vamp Feather is a item that's now probably going to be rushed up a little bit more than getting double Dorans or so.
And at the same time, they also nerfed the longevity of the usefulness of Doran's Blades, because it's not a passive scaling percent anymore, it's just that flat 5. So early game, you know, flat 5, but if you do really want to, you know, kind of ramp up, you do have to sink more cash into it. And again, you know, the sustained meta game is something that they've been trying to just change. I mean, look at the removal of Heart of Gold.
Yeah, the Heart of Gold is a big removal, but I was just seeing, oh sorry, we do have Action Jax again, picking up another kill onto Olaf. This is just not so well, and this Jax, soon enough, he's going to go roam down, and he's going to go kill a lot of things coming up soon.
Can almost 5-on-1. Super ownage, however, living up to his name, got super owned there. Great Zenith Blade, and I think that was that the Feast from Rethix? It was the Feast, yeah. So not only do we have 2 Feasts now on Rethix, but since he's roamed and Anivia has stayed put, we have a lot of pressure now bottom and no real answer coming out of Not Your Average Nobody.
And this is just a straight up pick off, just because they just picked up the move, but also just because they have so much control of the whole map area just by the presence of how much damage they have. Team Artificial is just going to be pushing this gold lead, and in like 3 to 4 minutes, unless something really happens to them, they will be so far ahead, and it's going to be really ugly for the team of Not Your Average Nobodies, who can still come back right now. At this point, it's just going to be really hard, and they probably need to start making plays by Olaf roaming or Mumu getting some level 6 action.
Now, I have a question about the new jungle items. I mean, we see Amumu here with the Spirit Stone, some good regen, deals a lot of damage to monsters, but we don't see anything of the sort on Lee Sin. Is it required to have those Spirit Stones these days, or is it just a nice bonus?
For more of the AP jungler, Spirit Stone's going to be built up more just because, well, it's mana regen and health regen as well. While on, you know, Lee Sin AD junglers, they have that Wriggles proc. They'll have that Wriggles damage still, and it's going to be really good. And Super Ownage, going to get damage down and Super Owned yet again. Yongwu taking a lot of bit of damage, but Raideki does not have any more answers. Here comes Anivia from the side. Is he going to get a Splash? No, but he's going to get a Crystallize. Going to get a good wall off, and he's going to get an Ignite. Pick up the kill over there to stop the bleeding. But still, a double kill for Jax.
Yeah, that hemorrhaging is pretty bad. Sunlight going down in the bottom lane with the collateral damage. Argo Bargo forced to blow out that cleanse, but he gets immediately exhausted. Insanity of the Twins is going to take that tower shot and go down, and this is looking to be a nice turnaround on the bot lane, but Argo Bargo, we do have enough mana! Oh, we do! Art Pudding able to bring it down, but will the bananas be enough? Bananas of Doom returning in Season 3 to a triumphant kill.
I wanted to see if the Banana actually got a +3 gold from that that new massive pickpocket. Yeah. But good job overall together by Soraka making so many plays over there to Argo Beagle. Although Argo Beagle could not finish up the second kill, he did get that first kill, so that's going to help him out a little bit as well. Although, looking at it realistically, there's a lot of gold still for the team of Team Artificial. Not Your Average Nobodies just took up about 2 to 3 kills right there. That actually helped out the team just a little bit more.
Yeah, if you can start turning around fights like that, you know, you're going to be in a nice situation. But top lane, they're really looking to punish this Olaf. 0-5-1. He does not have the tier 2 boots. Looks like he's going for that phase. He's just woefully behind it. We already got 2/3 of the Trinity Force here for Yang Wu, and thankfully for him, the lane's just going to push it up. So no visit from Lee Sin. Argo Bargo does return bot lane though, and for the Corki, does not seem to be too much of an altered item pad. He's just going to be going straight for that Trinity Force as well.
Really interested to see people picking on Trinity Force right now. It's a much more expensive item. And the stats are a little bit nerfed right now as well, and except for the attack speed and the attack damage of it. But yeah, I'm really interested to see that. I would say that yeah, it's a good item, but I still feel like BT, Black Cleaver, and all the other like standard AD items right now, it's a little bit more powerful than what you get from Trinity Force, just because there's so much more of an investment with it right now.
A little bit of a misstep up here. Super Onage just gets hit. And look at that. The Empower leap combo with the Sheen takes him down under half health. I mean, how do you fight that? Mid lane, a little bit of a fight going on, but the top lane, Dirt is down. Rakadai does have to blow out that Ghost, and Ragnarok is not going to get hit by that stun. Curse of the Sad Mummy also now just saving his bacon, leaving Yongwu in that top lane. But first tower down, top lane is just utterly dominant here for Team Artificial.
Mid lane. We do see a Vietnamese kid coming up from the side, dragging the kick onto it. Arthur Reflex is going to nom down, but we do see the egg going to be used. Super Owners can't really do anything because, again, Surf's Curse is that many down, and Genovat is going to be taken down by a Vietnamese kid.
Man, oh man, it's just 2 out of 3 lanes so far, pretty dominated here by Team Artificial. Looks like they are going to be stealing out that blue as well. Bot lane pushing in just to, the cherry on top, counter jungling out this Amumu supremely hard, and just 13 minutes in. I mean, we're up 5k, easy as that.
Yeah, unfortunately for not, there is just a little bit of damage that was done to Amumu early with that red buff seal, but on top of that, just really good play from Jax and really good play from Graves and Ligona, really securing that bottom and top lane. Cho'Gath just needed to land one good rupture, and now he takes a big advantage over that middle lane.
Now the first item here for Cho'Gath was an Abyssal Scepter. I try and remember, I don't think it actually changed patch to patch, but usually you'd see something like a Chalice of Harmony or a Catalyst like what we do see here on Anivia, but I mean, we don't really need any kind of extra healing or extra kind of health there on Cho'Gath because Feast provides him the hit points, and then his passive just supplies him the sustain. And as an AP, I mean, it's really easy for him to clear out those waves and get all that health back.
I mean, that's the thing about Cho'Gath in the middle. It's pretty much, you just build regular Cho'Gath anywhere, literally top or jungle, because his item build is just so proficient enough to just be great in everything. I mean, especially at mid, he can defend against all the damage that's coming out from Anivia. It's just really, really, really strong, and I like the Abyssal Scepter pick. I do like that he is building up a Sapphire Crystal. Probably, I would love to see Ownwrecker, the new item from the Sapphire Crystal slash Awesomeness, but we're probably going to be seeing a Glacial Shroud or probably a Rod of Ages for him to come up soon.
Rod of Ages would be a nice little boost in terms of the hit points, but I don't know. I'm more of a fan of just pure damage. Like right now, Cho'Gath is sitting at 1,800 hit points, 74 armor, 104 magic resist. I mean, even compare that to Anivia, he has a pure 500 plus all the various armors, hit points over top of him. So if I were I would just go for damage, but that's me. Something to point out here though, he does have Sorcerer Shoes, Alacrity, so those new badges on those boots.
And we do see engagement over at bottom window, taking so much. Gonna hit the heal down, plus he just wishes to go out. And San Twins is gonna get shut down by the curse of that money. Art Pudding is gonna be taken down first, but here comes Art Reflex coming back for the rethunk.
Yeah, Vietnamese kid with that kick. Argo Bargo, no Valkyrie ready to go for him because no mana either. Rupture is going to go down, is going to miss. We do got our Bird of Prey in the background though, but she is not going to be making an appearance. And just like the 4-man pressure bot lane, the Dragon is up, so they were going to do it anyways, but still, just the response from Team Artificial was so overwhelming right there.
I mean, yeah, Vietnamese kid came down. It was a little bit for Cho'Gath to go down, but he's already going down as well. So, really good play overall in general. Again, great stuff from Soraka, healing out onto Corki, just saving his bacon for enough to get Earth Pudding down. But unfortunately for not, it's still a little too late. And another Dragon down for the team of Team Artificial.
Yeah, a lot of global gold. In fact, we're coming up on that 10,000 mark fairly soon. If this rate of gain keeps coming out, it could easily be a 20-minute surrender, as we are sitting about 7,500 gold up. Now the top lane, Yongwu, he wasn't part of any of that. He did, opt to stay top. He also took his own red, but look at the damage right there. The bird had absolutely nothing to say about that. And if you do look at him, he does have a Trinity Force, and he's had it since about the 16th
Team's
minute.
turret has been destroyed.
That was like a 4-shot combo, now 7-1-1. My gosh, Jax. That was some chills right there, but on top of that, just too much damage output. Anivia, don't know if that was a smart idea, and it kind of wasn't, probably, per se.
Apparently didn't know that her egg was down. I have heard that there are some skills in this game that don't, quote, refresh on your UI. But, yeah, refreshing that death timer, Super Onage cannot do anything against Wang Yu here. We are going to try to go for a fight here. Will Wang Yu be able to survive that one? Yep, flash. And just in case, there goes his buddy Lee Sin safeguarding in. Tower not looking so good. The flash in here from the bird looking for the kill on top of Jax, but unfortunately it looks like he's just going to get dragon kicked away by Lee Sin. Not entirely too sure that was needed, but style points, sir.
I mean, you want to safeguard your Jax, even though he did just get flashed upon. Unfortunately, Anivia missing out the flash rods kind of sealed the deal that Anivia was not going to get that kill. Right now, Argo Bargo are going to be 2v1ing at bot lane. Don't think this is probably a good idea to stay in this little lane.
By himself? No, I wouldn't say so. We do have a Wish available. It is still up, Soraka. And believe it or not, Soraka actually still has her biscuit.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Because I'm a support player as well, I haven't really used that biscuit ever, truthfully. And we do see Unmoved coming in for his side. Does he have that Curse of that moment? Yes, he does, and he will try to use it for both members. Great disengage from Leona with that Sunlight, from the ultimate right there, from the Eclipse. Or Solar Flare, sorry.
Yeah, I always call it Sunlight because I always forget its name. But Super Onage about to go down. No Feast coming out, but Graves able to take Wino with him. Argobargo, no mana yet again. Seems to be a consistent issue here with Corki. Just doesn't have the mana to spam out those spells. So a nice 3-for-0 bot lane. I mean, tower down, 3-for-0. Top, it does not look good right now for Rakadai, as we do have Yongwu just chase him down with that red, with that Trinity Force, and the badge on the boots as well. It means that it is death for breakfast here for Team Not Your Average Nobodies.
Alec being the key for everything, closing that distance a little bit more. Again, the green badge gives you a 15 movement speed. Sorry, it was called percent, but it's not percent. 15 plus movement speed, so much more damage on top of that. And Super Onage, don't know what you're thinking, but you're going to go down yet again to Youngwood. Oh my gosh, Argo Balgaro could go down as well.
Wow.
Double kill. Oh, that cleanse could be really strong to keep Youngwoo off of Argo Balgaro, but Winnow probably could have saved himself a little bit more. He does not want to chase down onto Youngwoo.
Ridiculous damage output. That's all I have to say to that. Now, we do have a Trinity now on our Corki, so 20 minutes in, we did actually pick up that Trinity for our AD, but 131 creeps with 155. We also got that. I'm trying to read this right. We have the Infinity Edge with the Recurve Bow and the Vamp Scepter. Very curious.
Infinity Edge with the Recurve Bow and the Vamp Scepter. The Recurve Bow probably building into well, I
don't think they combo to anything. That's the thing. Static Shiv, maybe? I don't know. No, that uses a Zeal. Either way, as I said, 20-minute surrender going down, 20-6. Team Artificial doing an extremely good job with this Season 3 patch. What a very dominant top lane Jax, though.
That Jax was pretty strong. I feel like he was probably going to be building through Ginsu's Reach Blade as well on top of that, so even more damage. Like you said, he could have quite possibly 5v1 team. It probably could have happened.
Just ridiculous. Alright, so that's week 2 EU here in the Alienware Arena winter season. Show you guys the end game screen right there, but yeah, I mean, I have seen on Reddit that there's a thread about various things that aren't quite working with the UI. For example, Noviet there not able to see his egg timer. I've heard that some of these skills actually aren't showing like cooldowns, so it's really hard to judge. So when he did go up against that Jax, he thought he had the egg. The egg wouldn't really have done much, but he thought he had it, and unfortunately he didn't. So still a few things here to iron out Season 3, but overall, what are your impressions of this patch in that game?
I mean, the patch, not really too much of a factor per se. I think more over, foundation, fundamental stuff that we were talking about a little bit before, between platinum, gold versus, I think it's all silver that we said. We said that they were. still, there were some really good plays from the bottom lane of Winnow and Bargle. So great job to them. I think that your average nobodies is going to be a pretty decent team to go up against. They're pretty good with their communication. Just unfortunately for not the level 1 team play of Artificial really hurt them with red buff being taken from Moo, and then on top of that, Young Woo. Young Woo.
Young Woo. I feel like we're praising the Bruce Lee of League of Legends right now. Wong Yu. Yeah. I actually got Noviat here messaging me saying way too little practice, not sure what to do against the Cho'Gath. So yeah, I mean there's a lot of uncertainty going around right now, but either way, good game, well played. Once again, thank you to the teams for letting us shoutcast their games. This will go up on the YouTube, and tonight I'm going for 9 p.m. Eastern. We will have the Alienware Week 2 NA game. So Bird, would you like to join me for that?
I'm for sure gonna be there.
All right, cool. So we see you guys a little bit later. Enjoy your Season 3. This has been the FourCourtJester and the Bird. Check him out, L3IRD on that Twitter. Make sure